14 signs men give before they cheat. Infidelity may be painful and is one of the most difficult problems to deal with in a relationship. While many people are taken aback when they discover their spouse or partner is cheating, others may predict infidelity based on unusual behavior. You're probably here because you believe he's cheating on you. Even if he says he isn't, he might be covering it up. Therefore, it's critical that you look into it further to ensure he isn't. Some women were shocked to know that the man they had been seeing for years was already married. Isn't that crazy? Of course, in your situation, this is not what you hoped for. But how can you determine if they're being dishonest? Are there any warning signs you can look for before he cheats on you? And the answer is yes, in every single situation. When something isn't quite right, there are always things that you notice. Princeton University researchers found that paying attention to their body language is the best indication of how they're feeling on the inside. Here are some body language indicators to look for if you fear your boyfriend or your husband is cheating on you. Keep this also in mind. It would also be a mistake to assume that any of these indicators represent proof of cheating. But it does suggest that if you have one of these experiences, you should bring it up in your relationship, since the relationship may be off track and there is an opportunity to get it back on track or to decide on a new relationship. Number 1. He has become more loving all of a sudden. It may not be the first thing that comes to mind, but a partner who goes above and beyond, whether it's just a public demonstration of affection, just because presence or home duties can also be a warning sign. Guilt and the urge to cover up the affair may encourage your man to act more affectionate toward you. Number 2, he's become moody. Sudden irritability is never fun to deal with, but it occurs. Some people simply go through difficult periods in their lives and take their frustrations out on the wrong people on a regular basis. He could have tighter deadlines or an excessively critical supervisor at work. Ideally, he'd want to speak about it with you, but he might simply be pleased to come home. Workplace stress can manifest in a variety of ways, but what if there's more to it? If he suddenly becomes angry at you over little things such as forgetting to replace the toilet paper roll or not using a towel. And here's what's going on. He's feeling terrible about something he's about to do, or something he's already done. And if he can make you the bad person, he'll feel less guilty. Number 3, he has found a new person about whom he can't stop talking about. It might be a sign of cheating or a slippery slope to infidelity. If your man starts bringing up a new colleague, friend, jogging partner, or other connection, there's always the potential that your man is simply delighted to meet someone new and that nothing is wrong. However, it's also crucial to recognize that infidelity is a continuum with many different types of cheating. It's not unusual for a new connection with another person to grow in intensity in a way that appears harmless at first, and then slide over the line into something that is very obviously beyond the boundaries of the committed relationship. Number 4, appearance and hobbies. While taking care of yourself and committing yourself to new interests and passions, or even your profession, can be beneficial. But some changes, like your partner is putting in increasingly lengthy hours at work, your partner is suddenly more concerned about their looks, or is wearing nicer. Your partner takes up a new hobby that necessitates a daily commitment of a few hours, and when you express interest in their new hobby, their response is vague or dismissive, when paired with other questionable behaviors, may be cause for concern. Number 5, sudden change in his phone behavior. It's one thing to have a password on your phone, it's quite another to keep it secret. Unless you're dating a CIA agent, your partner's phone isn't likely to contain any protected data unless they're trying to hide something. If you find that your previously open guy is suddenly obsessively glued to his phone, there's definitely something on their phone that they don't want you to see. Number 6, in bed, he's more demanding. Another method your boyfriend may unwittingly brag to you about their affair is by turning it up beneath the covers. A huge body language indication of infidelity is also an overcompensation in a sexual direction. You could assume your partner is more into you if they suddenly act lustier towards you, but try to analyze the context. It's possible that your significant other's increased sexual confidence is causing them to attempt new positions or tactics. Number 7. He accuses you of being a cheater. If you notice that your partner is reversing his accusations, he might be cheating on you. Is he suspicious or uncomfortable about what you're up to, especially if you haven't changed your conduct or given him any indication of what he should anticipate from you? Because he's projecting onto you, this might be an indication of infidelity. Number 8. Communication has changed. Communication breakdowns are never a good indication. There's certainly an underlying issue if you can't get your partner to talk or even argue with you. They no longer discuss their day with you, or the words, "I love you," are no longer said. Number 9. There is a greater emotional distancing than there used to be. Conversation and emotional honesty are required in every strong relationship, which leads to emotional closeness. According to Ellen Kenner, PhD, clinical psychologist, one critical symptom of an affair is when you find your spouse not emotionally interacting with you, and instead of seeking reasons to be away from you. In addition to infidelity, a spouse who is emotionally unavailable might be an indication of broader relationship issues. Those issues, however, can frequently be resolved with the correct amount of effort and, in many cases, relationship counseling. Number 10. He spends more time with his friends. Of course, boys' night out is required for all men. If they've gotten more regular recently, it's possible he's cheating on you. He could be out with his friends, but he's actually seeing someone else. That's not good. Nevertheless, before accusing him of cheating, make sure the signs are present. He may be out with friends. Number 11. He's uninterested in sex. According to Cosmo magazine, if you notice a shift in the romantic energy you share with your spouse, or if they've entirely shut off the faucet, it might be an indication that he's finding his sexual pleasure elsewhere. After all, it's generally known that men require a certain amount of sex in their life to feel fulfilled. Ask yourself, why would his sex desire change suddenly? Number 12. He is withdrawing large sums of money. It comes as no surprise that money talks. Alarm bells should sound if you see cash withdrawals from your joint accounts that are outside of your partner's normal spending limit or habit. They might be paying for their trips with cash with another person to make their actions untraceable. At the very least, it's worth discussing finances with your partner. Number 13, he's having trouble remembering what he has already told you. It might be difficult for your spouse to keep track of who they've talked to when they start sharing private concerns with someone new. Be cautious if they frequently ask, "Have I already told you this?" They may be confiding in you less because they've met a new confidant. Number 14, something doesn't feel right. Clear signals are excellent, but sometimes your gut tells you something is wrong in a relationship. You have a greater understanding of your spouse and their tells than anybody else, so trust your intuition. If something doesn't seem right, if your spouse talks about that new person they met at a club, it might be a sign of fleeting infatuation. But it could also be a sign that there's a lot more going on than a small crush. Are you in a relationship where you believe there's infidelity or dishonesty? Remember that you're entitled to respect. You don't have to put up with someone sneaking about and lying to you about their activities. Well, what signs have you seen someone behave with before they cheated on you? Leave your experience in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching.